Sir, yung sa AKAP po, help pa-explain na lang din po. Kasi di ba, if tama yung pagkakaintindi ko, DSWD yung sole implementer neto. Pero may nabanggit kasi nahatian between congressmen and senators. So 26 billion nga po, 21 billion for congressmen and 5 billion for senators. Kung DSWD yung sole implementer, bakit may ganitong setup po nahatian?
Yes, the sole implementer is DSWD. And if you attend yung pagro-roll out ng AKAP sa iba't ibang distrito sa buong bansa, you will see it's really DSWD personnel ang nagche-check ng paperwork, nagagawa ng due diligence to make sure na walang duplication, at talaga namang nagko-qualify to receive itong ayuda na ito. Now, ano bang role namin mga congressmen at mga senators? The sad fact of the matter is that ang DSWD is undermanned. Wala naman sila talagang, they're not that capacitated to roll out. So what we do is basically to assist DSWD personnel. Dahil kami, bilang mga district congressmen, meron kaming mga organizations. And we also have people who can do the groundwork, which is not to say na hindi naging objective ang DSWD. At pinagbibigyan kami mga congressman, kung hindi talaga po pwede ang isang tao dahil hindi siya qualified, hindi talaga lulusot. And that has been our experience in the district. Alam mo nga, naging usapin ng AKAP before. Nagrereklamo ang napakaraming tao. Sabi, ma'am, bakit ang AKAP napakahirap mag-qualify? In fact, napaka-stringent nung criteria na ginagamit ng DSWD. Well, that's just to give you an idea kung gaano ka efficient, ka stricto, at ka diligent ang mga taga-DSWD. So, I think you're basically asking, napopolitika ba ito? I can only speak for our district as well as my fellow congressmen. Hindi po. Hindi siya napopoliticize in the sense that pag ikaw ay near poor ka na at nangangailangan ka nito at meron ka namang papeles talaga na may papakita at mapapatunayan sa DSWD, you get what you deserve. In other words, we do not nominate people who do not deserve this out of political accommodation kasi it's counterproductive for us, as politicians. Mas maganda na nakikita ng aming mga constituents na yung nakakatanggap ng AKAP are those who really qualify for AKAP at those na nangangailangan. Imagine mo kung magiging usapin sa aming mga distrito, ito talaga si Congresswoman, pinopolitika niya AKAP. Hindi ko gusto yon. Any thinking politician would recognize that that is counterproductive, politically speaking. And of course, the greatest pleasure na kukuha namin as mga ama at ina ng aming mga distrito na turingan is to see na those who really need this help ang siyang nakakatanggap. And this is thanks to the diligence of the sole implementer, which is DSWD.
In my understanding, siguro nakapeg yung AKAP sa mga number of congressmen or senators is basically it's one fair way of making sure that equitable naman ang distribution sa iba't ibang bahagi ng ating bansa, lalo na sa congressman kasi district constituencies are divided according to population naman. Alam mo naman yon yung pagpeg, no? But nonetheless, I think that fact is immaterial given the fact that DSWD has full custody of the funds. DSWD guidelines are followed. Even if we recommend, they will still be subject to DSWD scrutiny. They will still be subject to government DSWD guidelines. So, other than efficiency, I don't think it would be fair to impute politics in that case.
Thank you po.
Thank you, Kenneth. Thank you for waiting. Isa Bendaño Amali from DCWB. You may ask your questions now.
Hello po, magandang hapon po. Follow up lang din po doon sa AKAP kasi may mga groups po kasi na nananawagan kay Presidente Marcos na yun po yung i-veto, yung AKAP. Kayo po ba mga congressmen, ayoko pong i-preempt, no? Pero kayo po ba mga congressmen, tatanggapin niyo po kung sakasakali na i-veto ng Presidente itong AKAP?
Ako personally, naniniwala ko hindi i-veto ni President yan eh. Dahil ang feedback naming mga district congressmen is that malaking tulong talaga. And you know what? For the longest time, covered ang poorest of the poor. Merong 4Ps and other programs no, mula sa DSWD and even other agencies. Pero yung mga taong gusto nating pigilan from sliding down dun sa ating economic scale, ano? Ito yung mga beneficiaries ng AKAP. So there is a real need, and that need is being met right now. Of course, we know it's a stopgap measure, and hopefully there is higher pay and there are more jobs and you know, economic progress as a whole. But in the meantime, anong gagawin natin? Watch. We cannot with our, you know, we have to do something about it, and AKAP, I think, is the answer. Kong Jill?
Well, ako din, hindi ako naniniwala na yung pondo para sa programa ng AKAP ay i-veto po ng ating presidente. Isa ito sa mga programa na nag-address ng ating pong mga problema ng ating mga kababayan. Let's start looking at the positive side of the program. I can speak for my constituents in Bicol. Dinaanan po ng 2-3 bagyo nitong mga nakaraang buwan. And AKAP saved them. No? Because we cannot always rely on the relief goods na ibibigay po ng ating pong mga government agencies and other private organizations. So, the AKAP program addresses mainly several issues of our country. Yung sa inflation. So, ang maganda ho dito sa AKAP, direkta pong napapakinabangan ng ating taong bayan. Imagine receiving 5,000 pesos for a person who is earning 10 to 1,000 below o siya low-income earner. So basically, this is a direct and immediate assistance sa ating pong mga kababayan. And this is one way, ako naniniwala ko dito, this is one way of returning to the people who are paying taxes through this program. So, naibabalik natin yung kanilang mga buwis, yung mga kanilang kontribusyon sa ating gobyerno sa pamamagitan ng programa. And AKAP is one of the programs na napapakinabangan po nila. So, if meron naman pong magkikriticize, I suggest that if they will criticize something, especially a program that is very beneficial, siguro yung implementation, papagandahin na lang sana. Again, let me reiterate that the sole implementer of AKAP program is DSWD.
The fact siguro na pinasok ng bicameral conference committee ng mababang kapulungan sa version po namin yung AKAP already stresses or already emphasizes our belief in the merits of the program. Alam na naman yung position namin. We will respect the president, whatever the decision will be in the end, but we hope lang, ako personally, I hope lang that the program will be judged based on its merits. Alam naman natin yung paano yung individual na benefits niyan ng AKAP. Pero ako, I'm really more also on the macro economic effects of the AKAP. Like for example, sa mga lugar kung saan, katulad sa constituency ni Congressman Jill Bongalon sa Bicol, hindi lang ho nakatulong ang AKAP para sa individual na mga pamilya, kahit po yung mga maliliit na negosyante sa lugar na po yun, mabilis po sila nakakabangon kasi yung tao may pambili ho ng pera. At elementary economics po, velocity of money always accelerates growth. Diba? At nakikita ho natin sa buong bansa, ang AKAP ay naging kahit hindi lang kahit papaano, a significant economic stimulus in recent months, no, since it was launched this year. Kaya nga sinasabi ko palagi, ang AKAP, sa lahat ng social amelioration programs, dito po pinakamabilis ang ROI ng ating gobyerno. Bakit po? Una, yung tinutulungan ng AKAP may trabaho. Hindi po sila, mali po yung idea na nagtutulong na yung mga tambay. Hindi ho tambay ang beneficiaries ng AKAP. They are productive citizens of this country. Nagkataon lang ho, nakapos po yung kita talaga niya. Depende ho. Like for example, with the inflation, with the natural disasters. Pumunta ho ako sa Mega Mall, nakita ho nila, nakapin ho ako ng Congress, nagpapasalamat po yung taga-pindot doon sa elevator. Kahit papano, sir, may dagdag ho kami 5,000. Ipagkakait pa ba natin yan sa kababayan natin? Alam naman natin gaano sila kasipag. Kita naman natin kahit papano kasi breadwinners ang mga to, sa kanila nakadepende ang consumption ng pamilya nila. At in the end, ang ripple effect nito sa ekonomiya malaki din, put together. At baka ho tayo nag-iisip na Pilipinas ang gumagawa nito. Sa Thailand, 16 years old and above, lahat ho nakatanggap ng 10,000 baht na economic stimulus package. So meron ho silang, tawagin na lang nating parang AKAP. Pero ito nga, hindi mo kailangan i-apply. Talagang binigyan sila ng pera, 10,000 baht. That's about 18,000 pesos per individual. Lahat ng Thai, 16 years old and above. Kasi naniniwala sila, pag maraming perang ipump, kasi kung mahirap kasi ang buhay, ang tendency, itatago nila yung pera nila. They will withdraw cash from circulation. At dahil doon humihina ang negosyo, humihina ang consumption, at sa mga populasyon na katulad ng Pilipinas, yun po nagtatranslate po yun sa sluggish economy natin. Pero kung like, for example, may natural disasters, nagpa-akap tayo, payout, bibili nila ng pera. Yung mga negosyo makakapag-restock ulit, lumalakas po ang merkado. At malaking bagay po yun on a macro scale. At yun lang ho yung request ko. Wag ho nating porket ayuda lang, ganun ang tingin. There is always a larger economic impact, even of these programs like this. And I hope when the decision comes whether to include or not to include, the program will be judged based on its merits.
Thank you, Isa. Haji Kaamino from Brigada News.
Good morning po. Ayan. Babalikan ko lang po yung yung budget kanina. Of course, Kong Jill already mentioned about the process kanina, yung veto message ng Pangulo. Paano po yung magiging yung mangyayari po dito since last session day na po mamaya? And 'di ba parang kailangan po ulit na pag naibalik na po sa Congress yung budget, kailangan po ulit i-ratify. Paano po ba magkakaroon ba ulit ng special session? Papatawag po ba ng special session? And kaya pa po bang habulin before the year ends for the president's signature yung GAB? Salamat po.
Yeah, again, the usual process is that once we ratified the report of the Bicameral Conference Committee, pinaprepare na po yung enrolled bill, no? Yung enrolled bill po na yun po yung pinapadala sa Office of the President, no? Yun po titignan ng ating pong presidente, yung ating ipinasa dito po sa Kongreso. So again, under the Constitution, the President may veto the bill passed by Congress. And with that, of course, that will be subject of a thorough review on the part of the President. And if he sees that some of the items will be subject of a veto, then he will prepare a veto message, no, before the scheduled signing of the General Appropriations Bill. So with that, until now, we haven't received any from the Office of the President, but I would like not. I don't want to preempt what will happen next, because that will be the subject or depende po sa outcome, no, ng desisyon ng ating Pangulo. But then again, I am confident that the General Appropriations Bill will be signed before the year ends. So yun po. So subject po yun sa if there's a need to reconvene. Anyway, that will not take 1 day eh. Mabilis lang naman yan eh. So I guess the Senate and the House of Representatives are more than willing to attend if there is a need, no, to reconvene for that purpose.
I think, no, just to clarify also, tama yung sinabi ni Kong Jill, but in addition, hindi po natin inasahan na i-veto yung buong budget. You know, the President can exercise line budget items, and even if say the president decided to veto it without recalling the bill, no, without asking the bicameral conference committee to reconvene and simply sign into law the GAA as it is, but with the vetoed items, the president is empowered naman to assign appropriations from unappropriated, unutilized appropriations for the current year. So there are standby mechanisms in the budget that would allow the president to address the fiscal requirements of priority programs in case there is a need to do that in the course of the fiscal year.